the identity that is addicted to not yet. And one of the deepest things I've seen in human beings is this. That many people are not actually attached to their desires, yeah? They are attached to identity of not having them as yet. And that is changing your energy, yeah, your language. Because if your identity has unconsciously formed around waiting, wanting, longing, proving, healing, becoming, it's like always out of your reach, then finally when you're receiving it, can feel deeply unfamiliar. And for some of you, threatening too. Because who you are without the story, that something is still missing. This is often I say this. And this is why some people stay in perpetual self-development, perpetual healing, perpetual manifestation, perpetual work, yeah? And not allowing yourself just to be themselves, yeah? And the nervous system can become emotionally attached to striving, yeah? So to almost getting there, to future-based identity, yeah? And what is fascinating is this. The ego often survives through incompletion. If I finally receive the love, then who am I? If I finally become successful, then who am I without that label, yeah? And if life actually becomes so peaceful, then who am I without the struggle? Because this is where lots of times I see this, especially on some of the generational patterns where people are used to it, to talk about it. I will say recycle the story or whinge about it, yeah? And who are they if they're healed? Who are they if they achieve something, you know? What they were going to say to the neighbors and everyone else, or go to the church and talk about this, yeah? So this is where it's like something that you have to have a look inside of yourself. Are you addicted to that story? Yeah, and not to actual suffering, but addicted to that label, yeah? So because the familiar version of you is the emotional home of you, yeah? So which means familiar to the struggle, familiar to the waiting of you. And the freedom will begin the moment you stop relating to your future as somewhere you must endlessly earn your way towards it. Yeah, because the life is not withholding itself from you. Sometimes the identity simply does not yet know who it is without the limitation. And this is where I say limits don't exist. And all of this, what I'm teaching, is some of the things which comes up in the sessions with the clients. And when I ask them about it, and then I write this down and started doing the videos for people to see it. Is that pattern maybe playing up for them to help you to go like, okay, I can write this down. But very often I will say, if I see it in energy that is sitting in you saying, who are you without that label? Who would you be? And I apply this for people when we do the energy healing, like for example in the medical mediumship sessions. You know, I'm not referring just to the cancer. I'm just saying headaches, aches, all sorts of things. Who are you without that label? Yeah, I'll give you this one. For example, is single mothers. Yeah, and so the society, and we're breaking this up, but the society is saying, they have to struggle, they're struggling. But can you become successful? So what identity you need to let go of and create? I don't like saying create new labels, because I would prefer that you have no labels, just your beings. Why? Because then there is no heaviness. There is no like, oh, I'm labeled as this. Don't be labeled as anything. Just be authentic yourself. So what label are you prepared today to let go of yourself? To let go of it. And just to say, like for example, I don't remember who said this, but I remember when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. It's like she said, people ask her, how are you? And she goes, I am successful. How are you? So this is where I want you to kind of think about it, is like, what language do you speak? What identity is? What are you prepared to let go of to go to the next level? Even when I work with people who are working through fertility, and so, who would they be without that struggle, which is logically there on the paper, everything, that they are not able to conceive a child or to hold a pregnancy to, like, let's go say 6 or 7 months. So who are they if they have a different label? How would that feel? And that story will not going to be anymore about we cannot have. Can we change the label? And then can you start becoming that version of you who has that with ease, with absolutely love, and it's just alignment, and it's just normal. Not when we're holding on to it is like, I work for it, so I have got it. But then again, is there ego in there? It's a natural birthright. Can we have it as from the point that it's a natural birthright? It's like, of course, this happens. Of course. So this is where I want to invite you today to kind of write down some of those things for yourself. What label are you prepared to let go of for today?